Hey guys, it's Strutter. It's November the 16th, 2016, and I just want to do a few economic indicators, a few things that I look at, a couple of charts, and simplify a few of them, as I like to do sometimes, to analyze them a bit easier. And then at the end I'm going to do just a quick little bit of personal stuff to wrap it up. This is starting off with the silver chart. This is a weekly chart going back over 1 year, so that's January on the left and mid-November here on the right. This $19 top here was when Trump won the election, and then immediately after he won, there was a massive pullback in silver price, and it's continued to today. We're going back to about July's prices here. I think that was actually June when it took off, mid-June when it took off here. But yeah, we're pulling back hard, and I like to just sort of simplify the chart to look at patterns. We had an up move, a down move, another up move to a higher high, and then a higher low, and then the other higher high, and essentially now we're at a lower high. So it hasn't broken that $16 previous low, but it certainly is far away from this $21 previous high, so this up pattern for the year is definitely in jeopardy. It's not looking too good right now. Anything can happen, obviously, with the silver chart and the gold charts. Well, not anything. They can't go to zero. Well, I guess technically they could, but the physical price won't go to zero. But yeah, anything can happen with these charts. So really all you can do is look at it after it happens. You can look at technical analysis. Endlessmountain does a lot better technical analysis than I do, so I won't go into detail on it. But it has been an up year, but certainly not. The past few months have certainly been pretty ugly for gold and silver. Looking now at a Canadian dollar chart for gold, this is going over the past 15 years. We're almost approaching our highs from the 2011-2012 era, the heyday for gold. Just recently was 1800 and something here in Canada. So almost back to those old highs, just off there now at 1650 or so. So gold is not doing as poorly in Canadian dollars, or really in any other currency in the world other than the US dollar. And the reason for that is we can look at the US dollar chart right here. This is a weekly chart going back about 2.5 years. It moved up from the $80 level to 100, pulled back, tried again about a year ago, got to 100, pulled back, tried again, got to about 98, and then pulled back to 96. But then as soon as Trump won the election, it went from 96 over the past few days up to 100.5, a 4.5 point jump on the dollar index chart, which is the US dollar compared to a basket of other currencies. It's just basically showing how well their currency is doing against most other major currencies. And that is a major, major move. 4.5. That's 5% from the 96 point level to 100.5 in just a few days. That really wreaks havoc on the markets around the world. And it has major effects on gold prices, obviously, because gold and the US dollar kind of move against each other. When one goes up, the other's down by definition. One is actually money and the other is not. And as you can see, that is one of the reasons why the gold and silver charts have been doing so poorly over the past few months, is that the US dollar's been moving up, and especially in the past few days since Trump won the election. I'm not going to get into the politics of that. I was certainly not looking forward to 4 years or 8 years with Hillary Clinton. She is obviously a warmonger, obviously corrupt, obviously, obviously a really, really bad person, and the establishment's choice, clearly. So I was happy she lost, but I can't say I'm happy that Trump won. I don't know what that's going to bring. He's got a lot of promises, some I like, some I don't. Will he even keep those promises? Don't know. I sure hope he audits the Federal Reserve or gets rid of it. But the last guy that tried to do that met some troubles. So we will see what his presidency brings. If we actually get there, he's not totally president yet. Apparently, the Clinton people are still trying to say that she won the popular vote and therefore she should be president, but that just seems ridiculous. But then again, the entire election was ridiculous. Let's look now at the U.S. economy. This is the Wilshire 5000 total market cap index. It's basically all the stocks in the United States all put together onto one chart. And as you can see, it's moved up from about 6,500 in 2008 to almost 23,000 now. 6,500 to 23,000 over the past 8 years, basically over Obama's presidency. And we can summarize this chart by drawing a line like that. There really doesn't need to be anything else said about it. It's a direct move upward. There's a couple of tiny bumps and blips below and above the line, but this is just a blatant money printing scheme. The money's going into the banks and into the stock market. This is not an indicator of health in the economy whatsoever, as the stock market used to be long ago. And we know it's manipulated. We know there's a plunge protection team. And the stock market went down 8 or 9% overnight when Trump was rumored to be winning the election. And then, lo and behold, in the morning, that 800-point loss was erased and actually ended up for the day. You can see that here. That was actually the low point there, and it's moved. That's a major jump in just a few days. That's, trillions of dollars being won and lost by people there, well, mostly companies and trading bots, but that's just disturbing, and this entire chart is disturbing. You can see each of these bumps. These are the QEs, QE1 and 2 and QE3 to infinity, and the twist or whatever, all those Fed moves. It's okay. We don't need to say anything else about it. It's garbage. Let's look at another currency, Bitcoin, and me in the background, hey. This is the Bitcoin chart over the period of time that I've been watching it on this channel and commentating on it. Started off here around $4 on the left. I started getting really interested when the chart hit $50 because I could see the technical analysis patterns just shaping up for a massive move. And I said at that point, I think Bitcoin's going to go to $1,000 and beyond. And it did go to $1,000 and beyond. It went to $1,200. But this is a massive pullback and recovery over the past few years in Bitcoin. And I'm not invested in Bitcoin. I'm interested in Bitcoin. I've been following it all along. I've been talking about it here on the channel. And I know a lot of people who have done very well in Bitcoin, and that's awesome. I'm not an investor myself. I don't trade in and out of things to make a profit off of them. I don't see that as adding anything to the economy or adding anything of value at all. But, that's up to you. If you are an investor, that's fine. Everyone makes their own decisions. But looking at this, I can see the Bitcoin's at 740 right now, US dollars. And if it breaks this 770 area here, where it was, what was that? During the summer, I guess it was, June. Where's it going to go next? It looks like it's going to continue this bowl pattern, this cup pattern, and it's going to go back to 1100 or 1200. And what happens if it breaks that point? Look down here at this part. Look, this is the same pattern, this bowl pattern here. And look what it did there. It went directly up. Well, we're already at 740. We're already right here on this chart where it was going directly up. And you remember what was fueling that? It was the media. The media started talking about Bitcoin in here. Remember all the media frenzy? It was on front pages, CNN and everything. They were talking about Bitcoin. And that's when Bitcoin went crazy. But you don't hear almost anything about Bitcoin right now. You hear very, very little in the mainstream media about Bitcoin. And it's just creeping up. And if it was over here back in 2013, if we were back there, and the price was the same as it was then, man, they were talking about it and they were excited about it. But we've got there again, and it's silence. So just what happens when Bitcoin breaks this 1200 point or 1150 or whatever it was? What happens if it gets back to there, which it is possibly only a few weeks or months from doing if the pattern continues? Then there's a very real chance that the media will pick up on it again, and then we could have another one of these moves. But of course, that's going to go into the $5,000-$10,000 range. So I've said before, Bitcoin's a bit of it's a bit of a lottery ticket, really. Except you probably aren't going to either win or lose with Bitcoin. You're probably just, you buy a $700 lottery ticket. Well, you could put any number into it. You could put $50 in if you want. You don't have to buy 1.0 Bitcoins. But I'm just saying, if you buy a certain amount of Bitcoins, the worst could happen is it goes down. But the best that it could happen is it goes into the tens of thousands or even millions of dollars, because that is a very real chance with Bitcoin. I haven't seen that it's controlled by the FBI or whatever people say. That's been talked about, but is it really? Where's the proof of that? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. And it doesn't look like it is to me. It trades very organically, and it's really interesting to watch the chart as it breaks out from different levels and stuff. It obeys so many different fundamentals of technical analysis. It's really cool to watch. And I think if Bitcoin breaks this 750 level, 760 level, which it can do any day, really, then there could be a mad dash for these old levels of 1100. And if it breaks that, this whole bull pattern and then breakout is going to happen again. And that would be really, really interesting. I don't want to say too much more about Bitcoin, but it is definitely an interesting chart, and it's an interesting phenomenon. I know that in India right now they're banning cash. They're banning pretty much everything except for the $15 bill, when converted to US dollars and lower. So they can basically carry around 15s in their pockets. Less than a 20 basically is all you're allowed to have in your pockets. And anything else is soon going to become non-cash. It's just going to become a relic. It's going to become a piece of paper like in Germany. And Zimbabwe, where the cash just becomes not usable anymore or greatly devalued. So they're talking about that. Well, they're doing that actually in India, but they're talking about that now in Australia. So if Australia does that, you can bet that Canada is going to do that, and you can bet that the US is going to do that. And it's just another part of the war on cash, another part of the cashless society, which I've been speaking out against for years and seen coming for years. And I pay with cash for everything. I have an online business, not related to anything about that I do on the channel, but I have an online business which I've had for 15 years. So I have to accept PayPal. So I do have PayPal, but I don't pay with PayPal. I pay with cash. I withdraw in cash, and I spend everything in cash. I haven't bought anything without paying in cash for years now. And so the war on cash really means something to me. It's my line in the sand. I don't like cash. I don't like fiat currency. I like gold and silver. But I do believe that cash is necessary for privacy and a lot of other important reasons. So I'm disturbed by that. Australia, if they do that, if they start banning larger bills, that's just another way to cut down on people buying and selling things themselves, between themselves. Everything is going to have to be controlled by the system. Everything is going to have to be taxed. Everything is going to have to be monitored. That's the way that we're going toward. And I've been fighting it, and I'll continue to fight it. But that's really all I wanted to say about that. Next, I want to talk about a Bitcoin-related topic, which is Davinci. Davinci and I have been friends. His name's Davinci J15 on YouTube for a number of years, and we stay in touch, although he's not doing a lot of videos right now. And I thanked him before for this, but I want to thank him again for sending me $500 when I was very, very sick a few months ago. I'm still sick, but I'm better than I was. If you want to see my previous video, it's called How is Fibromyalgia Caused? I do have fibromyalgia, and I do have peripheral neuropathy, which is a dying of your nerves in your feet, and other parts of your body, affects your brain, and all your nerves. So I have identified at least some of the things that are going on with my health in the past while. I wanted to thank Davinci for sending me that cash because I wasn't able to work at the time, and the quote free Canadian healthcare model that everyone around the world talks about is actually a myth. Yes, it's free, but you get what you pay for, and the care is not very good. Let's just say they want to get you out the door. They want to make sure you're not dying or that they're not going to be sued, and that's really what they care about in the healthcare system here. So if you have money, you can get proper healthcare, and if you don't, then you get what's called free healthcare, and it's terrible. So I did use the money that Davinci sent me toward my health. I've gone on a completely gluten-free diet. If you think that's a fad, think again, check it out. It actually really, really is important for everybody, healthy people included, to get off of gluten. And that's been awesome. And there was a couple other people that sent me some cash through my PayPal account when I was sick too. Smaller amounts, but still very appreciated. So I wanted to thank them too. I don't think that they asked to be named or anything, but thank you to them for doing that. I have recovered slightly from my initial bout of fibromyalgia, which is very, very painful and very damaging to your nerves permanently, unfortunately, condition. But it can be knocked into a kind of remission, and I have some more work to do in that area to get a hold of the fibromyalgia, but I will continue to do so, and I intend to get back to more regular videos on this channel as my energy level approaches a little bit more closer to normal, and my brain fog starts to dissipate. Hopefully that continues. And I really didn't want to say too much else about it, so I hope you enjoyed the financial analysis, just a few charts and some simplifications, discussions. Stay alert out there. There's lots of stuff going on right now, and the next few months will probably be quite interesting. Talk to you guys soon. One last thing, I just checked, and the high of the US dollar index today was 100.57, and I went back on an extremely long-term chart to find out that that is the highest level that it's been at, just barely, but it is the highest level it's been at since 2003, so that's a 13-year high for the value of the US dollar. Crazy.